jazz guitar lesson, I'm going to be showing you how to achieve great voice leading over the 2-5-1 chord progression in major. Hi my dear jazz friends all over the world, Sandra, Sherman here. Greetings from Austria. I'll show you examples for comping over the melody section as well as over the solo section. The difference is in the 5 chord. You learn how to start from the E string and the A string. I've made tabs including regular notation, and you can download it from the link down below in the description box. Please read the download instructions right next to this link. Alright, let's dig right in. We're in the key of C major, and the 2-5-1 in C major is D minor 7, G7, and C major 7. We don't use altered chords when we're in the head and resolve back to major. So for the major cadence, 2-5-1 in major, no alt chords. This is because the melody often uses chord tones and the altered tones would clash against them. Alright, let's start with example number 1. Now, what does good voice leading mean? It means that we want to transition from one chord to the next with as little movement as possible, particularly the top note, the highest note of the chord. Let's look at the 2-5-1 progression in C major. We have a D minor 7, and this example is the go-to example when you're in the melody, okay? You do the comping for the melody. D minor 7, here's the D, 10, 10, 10 fret. Here's the top note of the voicing, that's the A. Now, as for the next chord, we don't want an altered chord, so we have a G down here, G7, and what we can do is G9, G13. What we have here is a G9 chord. Now it has the same top note. That's 10, 9, 10, 10. Same top note. It would be better if we had a movement, but there are ways around, but let's keep it simple in the first example because this is our go-to thing that you do when you're in the melody. So this is D minor 7 to G9. And it resolves to C major, and here is the C on the 8th fret, 9, 9, 8. So the A resolves to the G. That's good voice leading. A full tone, a whole tone. Better would be a semitone, but we can't do that here. So this is our go-to progression. Now let's add some fun to those chords and even achieve a better voice leading. All right, we start with the D minor 11 this time because that's another possibility for a 2 chord, D minor 11. That's the same chord as before, but the 5 changes to the 11. So we have 10th fret, 10th fret, 10th fret, 8th fret, D minor 11. This is the 11th. And now when I go to the G9, I have a great voice leading, a whole tone. Same G9 as before, but this time it's not twice the same note on top, but melody moves from here to here. But let's add some more fun. Now let's go back within the G chord. We can play a G13 here also. It's an inversion actually, and it starts on the 7th of the chord. That's the F, the 8th fret, 9th fret, 9th fret, 8th fret, G13. Now I have that movement up here from G9. This tone moves to this. The highest note is the most audible to the ear, so this has to have a good movement, and a good voice leading is a whole tone or even better, semitones, okay? We can't achieve semitones during the head because we can't have altered chords, all right? So go from G9 to G13. And before that we had the D minor 11. And now I go from here. I don't play the C major 7 now as the resolution because that would give me twice the same upper tone. I move it to C major 13. Nice tension chord. By the way, check out my video on tension chords. C, B, E, and A, C major 13. And then I can go back to the C major, right? Because now I have a movement coming from the G13, going to the C major 13, and back to the C major 7. And then I play a C6 9. That's 8 7 7 8, and that doesn't change the top note. Be aware of that. This voicing, the regular C major 7, has the same top note as another substitute for it, the C6 9, but it changes those strings. So there is an audible voice leading, although the top note isn't moving. Right, from here to here. And now I do a little trick. I do that shifting thing, okay? So here's example 2 at slow tempo for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. For example number 3, let's move down to the A string. Here we have the D on the A string, F, C, F, D minor 7. And this will be our perfect comping for the head when we're on the A string. Now we move down to a G13, G, F, B, E. So unaltered dominant chord for the head. And we have a perfect movement here from F to E and from C to B. Beautiful. And now the perfect resolution for the 1 chord would be actually moving the E down to the D for the C major 9 chord. But we have the chord tones in the melody a lot, and this is not a chord tone. This is the 9th. So the E would be a chord tone, and the 3rd, it's the 3rd of the chord, and that happens a lot. It occurs a lot in the melody. So we rather not move here and stay on the E because of the melody, which is most likely to be an E a lot of times. So C, G, B, E. C major 7 chord this is. Alright, so here's example number 3, our go-to progression from the A string when we're comping the head at slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, you can use this more sophisticated example now when you're at the end of a section. Let's say you're at the end of the A section. We usually have like 2 or 4 bars that have less melody at the end, and therefore we can play more tension chords. Alright, let's look at this. I start with my D minor 7 chord again, 5, 3, 5, 6. But I immediately move the pinky to the 5th fret, and this is the 9th, D minor 9. A lot of times the melody has the F, the 3rd in the melody. So that's why I said if there is not much melody going on, you can add the 9th. Then I have the G13, no movement here. But that's why I now go over to a G9 without the root. Here would be the root. This is the 3rd, the 7th, the 9th, and the 5th. 2, 3, 2, 3 frets. Right, that's also B half diminished, by the way. Right, so I'm coming from here. And now I resolve it to the C major. And a C6 9. So here's the C, E, A, D. Here's the 9th. C6 9th. And even a C6, which is actually an ending chord. 3, 2, 2, 1. And that's why I go back to the C6 9, because this would sound like the end of the tune. I don't want that. Alright, here's the entire example 2 at slow tempo. 3, 4, 1. Now during the solo we want to alter the dominant chords in order to create an arc of tension and release, and also we may want to use a lot more tension chords to add color for the soloist. Now here's our go-to example, simple one for when comping the soloist. D minor 7, we start from the E string again. We have this 10, 10, 10, 10. And now instead of playing G9 as we did in the melody, we go to G7 flat 9. We flatten it by adding the A flat. 10, 9, 10, 9 by barring. Don't play that C sharp because we want that movement from the 10 to the 9th fret. That's perfect voice leading, half tone to C major 7. 8, 9, 9, 8. And look what we've done. That's our voice leading now. Isn't that beautiful? For the next example, let's flip the movement around. We had this movement before, this voice leading. Now let's reverse it. We can do this by playing a D minor 11. We had this chord before, 10, 10, 10, 8. Then we play, that's the A flat, it's the flat 9th, so we have to play G7 flat 9 again. 10, 9, 10, 9. And if I want this, I need my C major 13. 8, 9, 9, 10. Right? Here's the whole progression. 3, 4. Alright, let's go over to the A string, D minor 9. I don't need this anymore because it leads me to 13, which I don't want also because we want altered chords. So I start with D minor 9, more color for the soloist. 5, 3, 5, 5. Now this leads perfectly well over to the G altered chord, G7 sharp 5 to be exact. 3, 3, 4, 4. See, half tone movement, perfect voice leading. And this leads me to a 9 chord of some sort. I chose the C6 9 chord. 3, 2, 2 by barring 3. And then I do my little trick at the end. C, B, C. Here's the whole thing. 3, 4. Now let's flip this around. Also, instead of going, which we had before, now let's move it up. That's possible by playing a D minor 7 chord. Usually I'm not too fond of this chord because it has 2 root notes in there, which is total waste of things actually. But in that combination it's good because it has good voice leading. 5, 3, 5, 3, D minor 7. Leads us to G7 sharp 5 again. Leads us to the regular C major 7 again. 3, 5, 4, 5. And for the last bar, I want a little movement. I go down to the C major 9. We didn't have this one. 3, 2, 4, 3. C major 9. That has the same top note as the 6, 9, so you can use it interchangeably, either this chord or this chord. The difference is in the 7th. C major 9 has a 7th, while C6 9 has a 6th instead of the 7th. All right? So here's the whole thing. 3, 4. Whatever you do with your chords, always stick to good voice leading. That means a semitone is the perfect way, whole tones are good, thirds okay, and then the rest is too far away. You can use those far away jumps for fill-ins. That's another topic. I have a lot more 2-5-1 lessons out there on how to solo. I have basic jazz 7th chords. If you're a beginner, tension chords, definitely check that one out. All right. I hope you like my video. Please give it a fat thumbs up, share the love and the knowledge, subscribe my channel. I see you next week. Servus, Baba.